Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel. Reverend Debbie here, hope you're doing well. Today's video, Andrew Tate and why I am reporting on this. As you know, I've been investigating this for quite a while now, and I've been asked why am I still reporting on this, why. I think I may well be the only woman who is actually reporting on this, and there are numerous reasons. The main one being that women and girls need to be aware of the behaviour that these boys and young men are being taught, because this will affect them in future relationships. Now, I'm speaking from somebody who has had some dreadful relationships with narcissistic type personalities. And before you men say, oh, you should choose better men, well, wear signs to tell me which one is a better man, because we don't know. So there's certain behaviour traits that Tate is teaching his followers, his war room members, his kids in the real world. And this behaviour is not acceptable. It is misogyny. And Tate himself has claimed that he's a misogynist. Now, Tate is an extreme misogynist, and he admits it in many of his interviews and videos that I have seen. Please check out my Andrew Tate playlist. You will see that I have got all sorts of footage there, not just the stuff from people who are trying to show all of this horrible behaviour, but also from people who admire him and who have interviewed him. But make no doubt that this real world, this war room that Tate is selling you, is a pyramid scheme. That's how it works. It is a pyramid scheme. And it's a cult. Because going into the war room, you are becoming an inner circle member of his cult, and you will be taught how to follow him. There is a man in there that I'm not going to mention his name, because that is somebody that I'm going to be investigating in the future. But pyramid schemes and cults never have a good ending. Never. Just look at history. Secondly, I'm hopefully trying to alert young boys and young men to the coercive behaviour that Tate is teaching you. The tactics that he is using are well known to forensic and criminal behaviourists and psychologists. Guys, this is an area that I'm currently studying. Now, I know one thing that Tate says is, oh, all of you lefties and wokies that are going to university and learning and so on and so on. Do you honestly think what Tate is teaching you is credible? Because if it was, wouldn't he have an actual school, some diplomas behind him? Instead, he sits there in his war room with his top off, smoking his cigars and drinking his whiskey or his soda water or whatever it is he's drinking, shouting at you guys. The terms he uses towards women are nasty. And I've had some commentators tell me that it's just a joke, but it really isn't, because those young men and boys will go on to say those things to girls and young women. It is a form of patriarchal misogyny that is being ingrained into these boys and men, and it has been for centuries. And it is something that we as feminists are trying to stop, because it is wrong. It is wrong to assume that a girl's place is in the kitchen, because it's not. A girl can be whoever she wants to be. Then, as I mentioned, Tate is selling this scheme, and he's scamming you guys. He really is scamming you guys. Mathematically speaking, right? You're paying $49, let's say $50 a month to be in the real world. And so let's say there's 10 boys, 10 of you, you're paying $50 a month to be in the real world. That works out to $500 for Tate. What are you getting in return for that? A load of verbal videos. You're not getting any hard products or items that you can use. You're not getting a certification at the end of it. You're not getting anything to prove that you were there except the horrible misogynist traits that he's teaching you, the criminal traits that he's teaching you. He's fleecing you. He really is fleecing you of this money. Think for a moment, okay? Get your calculators out. If you have 1,000 boys a month paying in $50, that works out to $50,000 for Tate. Where is that money going? To him. It's not going to you. It's not going anywhere else. Those cars that he has, they're not his. He doesn't own them. They're under other people's names. He just drives them. So they're not actually really his cars. And he does that for tax evasion purposes. And that's another one of the crimes that I'm going to be discussing as well. So when you are in the real world, he is going to try and sell you upgrades to go into the war room and other courses and other various things. He wants you, I mean, this new thing that he's got going on with the Bitcoin, that he wants to sell you this Bitcoin stuff, and then you will be a knight or a pawn, or not a pawn, he doesn't use pawn, but you guys are the pawns because you're the ones that are making him all the money. Do you see how this is working? You're here at the bottom level. Then you've got the next level of guys here that are in the real world. And then you've got the next level, and then you've got the war room and Tate right at the top. They're the ones that are getting all the money. Tate is a narcissist. Self-proclaimed, he is a narcissist. There is a YouTuber that I watch quite a lot. He's a self-professed narcissist. His name is HG Tudor, and I'm going to link one of his videos in the description box below as well. It's also in the Andrew Tate playlist. And he identifies him as a misogynist. And myself, studying psychology, can see those traits in him. And he's not a good narcissist either. He's probably one of the worst types. Fourth, young boys and men are idolizing criminals. Do you really want to be a criminal? Because pimping is not a good look. As I say, this is not how young boys and men should be treating women. It really isn't. Some of the messages I have seen from men to women they have tried to have a relationship with online. And I belong to a lot of feminist groups online, okay? And we post these things that we receive, such as rude pictures that are unsolicited. So these dating sites where the man will ask, "Hey, pretty, how are you?" And the woman will say, "Yeah, I'm okay, how are you?" And then the response is, "Well, do you want to get together for a bit of rumpy-pumpy?" And the girl says no. And then the male comes back with this horrific vitriol. "Oh, you'll never get anything that you want," and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, hang on. What does she do to deserve that? She just said no. That's all. That's all she said. So it's often viewed that men who have been in this kind of grooming, because Tate is grooming you, that men that have been groomed this way believe that if they give a woman a compliment that they deserve to now go on a date or even have intercourse with this person. So here are some facts about the allegations against Tate. Number one, he isn't free. He is currently under house arrest. Number two, he will be in another court appearance on the 28th of October. Now, the reason that this case is taking so long, and I have a lot of commentators going, "Oh, but you know, it's taking so long, and why haven't they been found guilty yet?" and so on and so on. It's because Tate's lawyers are trying every single possible trick in the book to try and delay the case. So they're trying to have some evidence removed, and so on and so on and so on. That is how it works in a court of law. Now, I also want you to remember, because I saw a video recently as well, another one that Gadget did, which I love Gadget, he's brilliant. So please check him out. Where he was on a talk show with some other Tate fanboys, and to be honest, it all ended up in the Tate fanboys basically abusing and throwing insults at Gadget when Gadget was just trying to be, you know, factual about everything. And that's because if these guys have nothing of substance, they will turn to insults, and I get a lot of it on my channel. So the crimes that they are alleged to have committed are trafficking of girls and minors, rape of minors, money laundering, SA and rape, tax evasion here in the UK, and I actually found an article about that, so I'm going to be doing another video a bit later on about this tax evasion. So they are going to be extradited back to the United Kingdom after the Romanians have finished with them. So they're not going to be going on this world tour that they're talking about now of doing and selling their stupid daddy coin. Guys, please, 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 please don't buy into that. It is fleecing. It is fleecing. So the Lamborghini giveaway, that was all fake. Yes, the Lamborghini was given away, but they had chosen who the Lamborghini was going to be given to before they closed off the payments that you guys were making on the site. So basically, none of you who paid into that stood a chance. You've been ripped off. You have. You've been ripped off. The money that Tate is making at the moment, I can guarantee you, is being used to pay for his lawyers. Because I bet you now he's got no money left, because it will all have been sunk into this case. Then there's a total of 49 girls who are victims. Now, a few of them are claiming that they're not victims, they don't see themselves as victims, that they feel that they were happy to do that. All well and good. However, the Romanian law works differently to that in America, and so they see them as victims of trafficking. So they were groomed and trafficked over to Romania. That's it. So whether they are saying they are not victims or not, the Tates will still be investigated over those girls. Now, there was footage as well of Beatrice, I think it was Beatrice, who came out after the last court date saying that, oh, she's not a victim and she never sees herself as a victim and doesn't want to see herself as a victim because that is how she'll be portrayed. I completely understand that. But as I said, this is all fake. There are telephone conversations from prison, when he was in jail, from Tate to some of his girls and some of his men who he has working for him. One guy, I believe, is called Luke, telling him to get the girls to go and lie, basically. He didn't realise that telephone calls from prison are recorded. Yeah, he's not very bright. He claims to be, but he really isn't. If he was, wouldn't he have a degree in something? Instead, he's got a degree in arseholery. He's a misogynist, self-proclaimed. It's that simple. He has proclaimed himself as a misogynist. He hates women. From the reactions and behaviour I have seen, I agree with the self-proclamation, and I'm pretty sure that any psychologist or anybody studying psychology out there will also say the same. Would you want that to be happening to your mother or your sister or your daughter? Think about that. Think about that. Would you want somebody to come along, groom your daughter into becoming trafficked and to becoming a girl on a webcam? Those girls have been trauma bonded to him. It is a tactic that is used by narcissists to keep that person with them. And it actually goes a bit deeper than that, and I'm going to be addressing that in another video that I do. But I can tell you, being a woman myself, that roughly 98% of women do not want to be treated that way. Yes, there are women who enjoy that. That is their choice. That is their choice. I'm not saying that if they are choosing this, that they shouldn't do it. But men should not be coercing them and trafficking them into doing this. He has outed himself so many times. So many times. In tweets, in videos, in so many different ways he has outed himself. And these clips are all over the internet. They are available. You know, there are even voice messages out there where he has, over the phone, these records have all been found, where he said to one of the girls that he enjoyed graping her in a voice message that he left. These are just some of the facts, guys. You can check out all of the videos on my playlist. Go follow Gadget, go follow Murdered by Crayons. I'll put their details into the description box below. These guys have done so much work. They really have. Don't forget, I've still got my Clown World review coming up. I'm still reading it at the moment. I'm trying to do my essay for my degree, as well as live a normal life and do these videos. So please bear with me. That will come in time, because that is a massive expose on the Tates and the war room. So basically, we need to keep focusing on exposing Tate for who he is, for his misogyny, for his narcissism, for his cultism, for the fact that he's scamming you guys. He really is. That's the biggest thing that worries me, is you guys are using your pocket money to pay for this course that is teaching you absolutely zilch. Women deserve to be treated as equals, not as slaves. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you next time. Blessed be.